This is a Freshblood production of The Earth Tree, written by Fitzgerald and directed by Alexandra Keaney. Performed with Chloe Hutchinson as Imogen, Ciara Cook as Nicholas, and Tom Giles as the Assessor.
Go on, Scrub. Help me get... Oh, you come back here. Excuse me, miss.
What? Who are you?
I don't know how you got here, but I'm afraid you need to leave.
I asked who you are.
I'm the new gardener, and I think you're doing my job.
New gardener? Well, who employed you then? I've been working here for years, and I don't see why I should believe anyone who turns up out of nowhere and declares themselves a gardener.
I've been employed by a Mr. Banbury. He recently bought this land, I'm told.
Well, he can't have bought it. You must have the wrong address. I'll thank you to leave now.
Look, lass.
Oh, you're still here?
I know I'm at the right address. I was given very specific directions.
Well, you must have followed them incorrectly.
And more to the point, I was warned that there would be a young lady rather infatuated with the garden who might be difficult to get rid of.
Oh.
Well,
that's rather ruined the game, hasn't it?
I'm not playing a game, lass. You need to leave.
Because it's private land all of a sudden, right?
Well, not suddenly. I'm told it has been for a while. They've just been searching for a buyer.
Buyer. Right. Well, where am I meant to go then? This is much more my garden than anyone else's.
I don't know. And it's really not my problem. Surely you have a home to go to, a family?
I am not getting into that with you.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Wherever else you're going, you need to get a move on with it. You can't just stay here.
Watch me.
I don't understand what the problem is. This is privately owned land, which you are forbidden access to, and you need to leave.
I don't understand either. It's a bizarre setup, isn't it?
Don't understand what? The land's been bought and you're trespassing, Missy, so I really must ask you to go or I'll be forced to call the authorities.
Well, exactly that. How can someone buy land?
Sorry.
I just don't see how someone could possibly privately own this space. It seems ridiculous.
You paid for the land the same way you paid for your clothes or food or anything else.
Yeah, I understand the concept, thank you. I just mean, well, it's as though it's a disposable commodity then.
What else would it be?
I don't know. Just a space for people to visit and live and be.
Yeah, well, maybe someday. Oh, come on, girl, you need to go. I have work to be getting on with.
What work?
I told you, I'm the gardener. I'm here to look after the plants, that's all.
And you know how to do that, do you?
Look, I've told you enough times already. You need to go.
Are you stopping the birds from coming in?
What? No, of course not.
Well, what about the rabbits? Or the worms? Or the badgers? Or the foxes? Or...
Obviously not. What's your point?
Well, what makes me any different?
Look, it's not my choice. I'm just following orders. But you need to leave now, or I really am calling the police.
I'd like to see you try. Fine. I'm going.
Right then.
Do you have your own gloves then? Mine won't fit you.
I must have forgotten them. I'm sure I'll make do, thank you.
I have an old spare pair in the shed. They might fit.
Really is.
Look who I found. Is he yours? Oh, he's gorgeous. Aren't you gorgeous? Yes, you are.
Yes, he's mine. Not that he seems to have figured it out yet.
What's his name?
Scruff. Look, did you find those gloves? You really need to be leaving.
Oh, that is such a cute name. Oh, yeah. Here, take them.
Well, thank you. Now, I'd like to be getting on with some work, so I'll show you off site now, if you please.
So, what were you thinking of doing with the place?
I haven't actually had much of a chance to look around, surprisingly. I can't imagine why that would be.
Haha, you're very funny. But, go on, Master Gardener. What are the first things you're going to do?
Well, I have a lovely few bleeding hearts to plant out, so I thought I'd start with that.
What? Now?
Yes.
No. You need to harden them off first, or they'll just die when it gets all cold. I wouldn't even consider planting them until late April, preferably May.
Oh. Well, thanks for the tip, miss.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Enough to make sure everything stays alive. Yes.
But there's so much more you could be doing. A place like this, with a bit more time and money spent on it, could be magical.
I'm sure it could. And I'll learn as I go and do the best I can.
Well, I can give you a head start then.
What? No.
I can't imagine Mr. Fanbenny would be particularly thrilled if he came to visit and all the plants he'd spent so much money on were dead or dying. And if I'm not here, there's literally nobody else he could blame it on but you. So I'll teach you how to look after the garden so you can keep your job. And I get to stay here and take care of it too. And if you can convince me that you'll do as good a job as I will, then I'll leave you in charge.
Whoa, slow down, Missy. I can't just let you stay here. If you get caught, I'll lose my job.
You'll lose it anyway if you don't know how to look after the land.
I'm sure I'll figure it out without you knocking about.
Well, I'm sure you could. But don't you think it would be handy to have someone to run around and fill up your watering can every now and then? Rather than having to go all the way to the tap yourself every time. It would definitely be quicker at least, what with your leg and all. I'd help you do a good job. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I just got excited. I just meant that we might both be able to benefit from working together.
Yeah, I got that. Okay, we'll try it out, but only for today. You can just show me where things are and roughly what I need to do. I can take it from there, bum leg or not.
Right, where to begin? Have you got your gloves on? Good. So, okay, absolute basics. Weeding. Be very, very careful that what you're pulling is actually a weed and not something you planted months ago, because it's really disappointing and annoying when that happens. When you're actually pulling the weed, it's important to grab...
Shouldn't you have the gloves on for that?
Oh, yep, just testing you. It's important to grab from the very bottom of the weed. That's good if it's a busy bed because you don't accidentally catch anything else, and also lets you pull it out cleanly. If you just pull the top, then it might break off, and then you'll have a hard time digging up the roots. You see what I mean?
Okay, that seems simple enough.
Alright, your turn.
Okay.
A little lower. Yeah. Okay, great. Try another one.
I told you I'd be able to figure it out.
Yes, I've had absolutely no impact at all. You're completely right. Ooh, not that one.
What? It looks just the same as the rest.
No, it's not. Look, can you see how it has a slightly darker stem? That's wood calamine, and it's actually really special and rare. Of all the things in this garden, don't kill the calamine.
I'm not going to kill anything. It doesn't look that special anyway.
You'll see. It doesn't flower until late summer or autumn, so it might not look like much now, but then it will be gorgeous.
Sure. This can't be all there is to gardening in spring, surely.
Oh God, no, nowhere close. You'd usually prune the roses, but I already did that, so you don't need to worry about that for this year.
Those were roses. Oh, Banbury's going to kill me. What have you done to them?
Hey, it's fine. I just cut them back. It means they'll grow more next year. This job means a lot to me, for someone who doesn't know anything about gardening.
Well, you've got to have a job, haven't you? Got to pay the bills.
Yeah, but why gardening? Why not work in a bank or a shop or somewhere more, well, common?
Maybe I just like being outside.
Yeah, maybe. Well, anyway, we have plenty to be getting on with. Come on. This is compost for the tree. Would you give me a hand? I mean, actually, I can handle it.
Give it here. I've got a bad leg. I'm not entirely useless. Where am I putting this?
If you couldn't carry a bag, that wouldn't make you useless.
So, what are we doing here then?
Just feeding the tree. Helping it grow a bit. This is a nice old alder buckthorn, so she knows how to survive here. We're just giving her a bit of help along the way.
Never heard of a buckthorn. Are they rare?
Not really. Very useful though. They're pretty and produce lots of berries for birds. But also used to make gunpowder and colour dyes. Diverse mix, right?
Really? Gunpowder?
Mm-hmm. Never know to look at, would you? Oh, do you not have any water?
No. Should I have brought some?
You can share mine.
Thanks, Ness.
Right, well, I'd better be going.
What? So that's it for today?
Yeah, pretty much. A bit more weeding to be done over in the other flower patches, and that should be plenty for today. Then over the next couple of weeks you've got to clip back the hedges and divide the perennials. You could even sow some sunflowers and marigolds if you want.
Yes.
You got all that?
I'm sure I'll figure it out along the way. Thanks, Ness.
It's Imogen.
Nicholas.
No offence, but you don't know anything about gardening. How did you get this job?
You know, I'm not entirely sure myself. Must have won Banbury over with my killer personality.
Plant killer, maybe.
Yeah. Well, as we agreed, I think it's time you left.
We did make a deal, I suppose. Unless you'd like the help over the coming weeks and months. There's an awful lot to gardening, you know.
You know, I'm not convinced I'd be able to keep you away if I tried. And I'm sure you'll find your way back if there's anything wrong. Thanks for your help.
Thanks for letting me. You'd be surprised how many people don't pay attention to all this stuff.
Well, I'm sure I'll see you around, whether I want to or not. I need to clock out, but I don't expect to see you tomorrow.
Of course not, Nicholas. Wouldn't dream of it. Hey, Scruff.
Hey, lass. You kept out of sight?
No, actually. I went around screaming my name and telling everyone where I am.
Hey, enough with the cheek. I could lose my job.
I know. You could trust me just a little bit, though, you know. How's old Bambers?
Grumpy, as always. But very much in charge, so you could have a bit more respect.
Respect a man who spends stupid money on a garden and then can't be bothered to enjoy it. Yeah, sure.
Well, it's his choice. What are we doing today, then?
There's not all that much to do, really. Weeding, watering, deadheading, all the usual stuff. Ooh, and keep an eye on the petunias. They should be flowering around now. I think we're developing an aphid problem, though.
Aphids? The little bugs?
Yeah, they're eating the roses. Can you see this little patch here?
Right. So pesticides, then? I think there's a store of them in the shed.
No, that's the last resort. If you use that, then you'll kill off all the good bugs too. So we only use them if we really have to.
Well, you're the expert, I suppose.
Damn right, and don't you forget it.
Could you grab a shovel and some gloves for me? I think I left them in the shed yesterday. It looked like it might rain.
Rain? In July? Really? Wow, how unusual. British summers are normally so consistent. Yeah, back in a minute. Oh, I see. You send me off to get the tools while you have a little nap. Is that the idea? I'll just have to do it all by myself. Scruff will help me, won't you, boy? okay? What's happened?
Nothing.
Okay. We need to deadhead all the spring flowers today and get planting some autumn bulbs soon. I'll go grab my own gloves and the shears, and you should check on the winter flowering plants. The springwood particularly seemed a bit dry yesterday, so probably water him well, then...
Plenty then. I'll start the deadheading.
Oh, okay. What's wrong?
I told you. Nothing.
Okay, sorry. I think gardening can be a really helpful, relaxing stress reliever if you have stuff going on in, well, life. I started coming here at a pretty bad time and, well, it's got me through a lot, to be honest. It's kind of become home. A place where nothing else needs to exist and you can hide from whatever else is happening. A safe place. Free from all external worries. Does that make sense? For me, that just means throwing myself into the work and making sure all the plants are healthy and growing well. Are you even listening to me?
You like gardening? Wow. I had no idea.
I was telling you something important. Something personal and private.
Yeah? Well, good for you. I'm glad you're happy.
Oh, I can't believe you. I was only trying to help. That's what I get for trying to reach out, I guess.
I think I've made myself clear. Leave me alone. I won't say it again.
Yeah, great. That's exactly how friends work. Thanks for reminding me. Or is that your point? We aren't friends. You just need some idiot to teach you how to garden, so you put up with me for a few months because you have to. Well, at least now I know, I suppose.
For God's sake, girl. I told you there's nothing wrong. I don't want to talk about it.
Nothing wrong and don't want to talk about it are different things, Nicholas. I mean, geez, if you react like this to anyone trying to help, I see why you're...
Go on. Why I'm what?
Why you're here alone. With a job you can't do and no friends or family that I've heard anything about in months of working together.
How is that any different from you? You know why I'm alone? They're in the army.
The army? Abroad?
Yes. Do you feel bad now? Pity me. Like everyone else.
Pity you? I guess so. You're still a shit gardener. Okay. I'm sorry for offending you. But also, there was really no need for you to be so rude. I was trying to reach out to you, and you really put me down.
Grow up. As if you have problems.
Excuse me? You know nothing about me because you just don't want to hear it. You haven't asked me about my life once. You don't care about anybody else because you're so wrapped up in yourself. You were in the army. Okay, I can respect that. But it doesn't give you the right to be such an asshole to everyone else.
Nice. Imogen, I'm sorry. I got some bad news.
Sure.
I did.
And you couldn't just tell me that? You had to be all dark and brooding and lash out at me when I was only trying to help.
It's personal.
I understand. You just aren't that close. Fine. My mistake.
My unit have been called out of the fighting. They're all coming home.
Isn't that good news?
Not really. Yes, they're coming out of the fighting, but we're abandoning everything we spent years fighting for. It's a glorified surrender.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had no idea you were in the army.
Yeah. Weirdly, it's not my favourite thing to talk about.
Yeah.
All for nothing now. Anyway.
I'm sure you helped make a difference. At least for a while, and...
Don't give me all that. We lost, and because of that, innocent people are going to be persecuted. That's not making a difference. How are the Darlies doing? The ones you planted yesterday?
It's impossible to tell. They go into the ground and we hope to see them in a few months. Make sure to water them though when you get over there. And for God's sake, don't trample the calamine.
That was one time.
And it better stay that way. Are your friends okay?
Which friends?
The ones you were fighting with?
Mostly, yes.
Are they going to move back here? Are you going to see them?
I don't want to talk about it.
What does this mean for the people there?
The people where?
Wherever you were fighting. I mean, will it be peaceful for them now, or...?
They'll be forced out of their homes and have to make a treacherous journey to refugee camps where they'll be forgotten. Is that what you wanted to hear?
I didn't mean to push you. I just wanted to know. Maybe, if there's anything I can do...
Of course there isn't anything you can do, stupid girl. An entire army was forced out of the country for trying to defend the people, and there'll be plenty of international consequences on both sides for their involvement. What could you possibly do here when you can't even look after one shitty garden?
What do you mean about the garden?
Nothing. Forget I said it. Which bushes need cutting back?
What did you mean about the garden?
Babby wants to build on it.
Build a house?
No, apartments. I have some signs in the shed to put up. I have another leaflet in my pocket. He made a deal for a lot of money. The garden has to go.
When?
October.
Give me that. Banbury and Cudthorpe Investments presents Buckthorn Grove. 400 luxury apartments. Oh, Christ, Nicholas!
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spring it on you like that. You'll have to find another garden.
Yeah, because they're all the same and there's absolutely no reason I might be attached to this one specifically. Thanks.
I don't know, do I? You never tell me anything like that.
I tried to earlier and you completely ignored me. You know what? Forget it. You wouldn't do anything to stop it happening anyway.
What could I possibly do? He's my boss. I have to do what I'm told.
Yeah, as you always do. Exactly what you're told. Well, go on then. I'm not going to stop you.
Fine. I will. And I'll put the advert up now. I was going to save it till later to spare your feelings, but I guess there's no point in that.
No point at all.
Hey, Imogen.
Hmm?
You're still in a bad mood with me then?
Why on earth would I be in a bad mood? It's not like you've completely given up on me and the garden and aren't making any effort to save it. Oh, wait.
That's not fair. We've been over this. There's nothing to be done.
If you don't try, then there's no hope at all.
Bless. It might just not be possible. And if that's the case, you need to be okay with that.
Nicholas, how much do you care about this garden now?
A lot, obviously. It's been a great relief.
Exactly. You've been coming here for what? A year? Less? This has been my safe place for years. I've cried into that tree. I planted those bulbs. I fed the birds and sheltered fox cubs through the winter. My entire life has gone into this garden. Without it, I'll be left with nothing. If it can't be saved, that's one thing. But I can't let it be destroyed without trying my absolute hardest to save it first. Can't you understand that?
I guess so. But it's also a lot of wasted effort if nothing can be done.
You're a soldier, aren't you? I would have thought you'd want to fight for what you believe in, rather than just let it slip away.
Maybe I'm just being realistic about how life works. You need to get out of your imaginary world and face it. You can't just expect it to work out just because you want it to.
I don't. I hope it'll work out because I'm trying hard and exploring all the possible avenues rather than accepting the worst case scenario just because someone tells me that's how it is. If I came up with a way to save the garden, would you help me?
Look, yes. I told you there isn't a way to...
Would you or not?
I wouldn't do anything illegal. Wouldn't hurt anybody. But if you had a genuine way, then yeah, of course I would. I do care about this place, lass.
Good.
Do you have a way?
Not yet. But I will.
Right. Well, you let me know if you do. Until then, I'll be doing my job out here. You gonna help?
I'm hardly going to trust you to look after my garden on your own, am I? You don't believe I'll do it, do you?
I believe you'll try until the very last moment, but I'm not sure you can, love. I've heard talk of bulldozers and corporate partnerships.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. Nicholas, you're here! Finally! I think I found it!
Found what?
The way to save the garden.
Right. What is it this time?
Well, according to council laws, areas can be designated nature reserves at any point up until said nature is removed. And if you want to apply to make a place a reserve, then you can raise an objection during the probationary period of a potential building application.
Okay. And what makes this place worthy of being a nature reserve? Well, surely it needs more than a couple of trees.
It must have one of the following: substantial historic significance,
None of that, as far as I know.
or great natural beauty which should be preserved for the public.
It's nice, but it's hardly Stonehenge.
Let me finish! Or it must be proven as a habitat for any critically endangered organisms.
Right.
So that's it. We need to call them and...
Wait. What critically endangered organisms are there here?
Really? How many times have I told you about that calamine you always trample?
And do people really care about them?
Yes, look, it's on the list.
I suppose. Are you sure that's the same thing?
Yes. Why aren't you excited about this?
I just don't want you to get your hopes up if this isn't going to work out how you expect.
I have to hope. Otherwise I'd give up and then there really wouldn't be any chance.
Still.
Okay. I need your help. You promised me you would help if I came up with a valid idea.
I did. What do you need me to do?
Well...
What have you done?
I might have already called them pretending to be you.
You what?
It was the quickest way forward.
I thought you just found this. When did you call them?
Well, you have to book an assessment 2 or 3 weeks in advance.
You've known about that this long, and only told me now.
Not exactly. I arranged the assessment, but you don't actually have to tell them what they're assessing until 24 hours before the visit. So I just booked it and hoped I'd find something.
Of all the ridiculous plans.
They're going to send an assessor out to check if it's calamine. They're expecting to meet you to show them to it.
Imogen?
You agreed to help.
Yeah, but you should have checked before calling them.
Oh, what difference does it make anyway? All you need to do is point at the calamine. And I think I've told you enough times to be careful of it that you should be able to do that in your sleep.
Fine. When are they due?
They said between 2 and 4 today, so in a couple of hours.
Right.
The bulldozers are coming on Monday. I really couldn't afford to leave it much longer. You get that, right?
Yeah, I do. I just wish I could have been involved. Anyway, let's get this place cleared up before they get here, yeah? Why are you planting stuff? Isn't that a spring thing?
It is, but these particular bulbs can rest underground until it starts to warm up again. That means at the beginning of spring there'll already be stuff happening in the garden. It won't be waiting for us to come in and plant things.
Oh, I see. That sounds wise.
Right. Are you ready then? You remember where the calamine is?
Of course I know where the calamine is. I just hope Banbury doesn't hear about this.
I didn't think of that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is this going to cause you problems?
It's a bit late to be worrying about that, isn't it? Come on, give me a hand tidying up, and then you need to clear out. Right, that's probably all we can do.
You'll do great. There's nothing to worry about. But good luck anyway.
Right, off with you. I'm risking my job enough without you being caught here months after I supposedly got rid of you.
Yeah, I'm going. Thanks, Nicholas.
Good day, sir. You hear about the calamine?
Yes, clearly. Don't get many visitors here, do you?
It's a nice day for it. Good weather.
I suppose. And yet it's still terribly muddy, even in the sunshine. Now, let's see. Here are the forms you'll be expecting, papers 13CA and 5BC7, declaring the protected status of a life form on this property, and also a request to cease development in light of such a protected status. Here and here you have the declaration of impartiality from myself, and here is my identification card.
Yes. Thank you.
Aren't you going to read them?
I trust it's all in order.
Your choice, I suppose. Well, aren't you going to show me where they are, ma'am? I'm very busy, you know, as an important official for the council. It wouldn't do for me to be detained unnecessarily. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, sir. This way. This is where the Calamon is.
Yes, obviously, I can see for myself, thank you. Ah, damn. Would you be ever so kind as to fetch me my notebook? It was in that jacket I handed you. Thank you. Blasted Calamon. Don't they know there hasn't been a sighting of a Calamon in the UK for years, let alone... Oh, gosh, dismal place. Oh, there's mud everywhere. Oh, no, not on my trousers and all that. Yes, no need to rush. I'm a very busy man, you should know. Now, let's see here. Small bluish, purplish flowers, yes. But that could be many species. Tight clusters of buds, yes. Only grows in chalky soil. Let's have a check then. I suppose we'll count it for now. Height up to 60 centimetres. Hold on now.
How's it going? Does he seem on board?
Imogen, you need to go.
I just want to know how it's going.
Go. I'll tell you later.
Height closer to 54. Slightly less than expected, but not outside the realms of possibility, I suppose. And half a metre spread? Yes, that seems about right. Now the leaf pattern. Well, all done here. You can go back to your digging, or whatever you do here.
Sir, if you don't mind me asking, what are the results?
I'm afraid I do mind. I have a very thorough report to write, and the findings shall be reported to the relevant parties, the development company, the council, and the owner of the land. I doubt you are any of those? No, I expected not. In that case, I'm sure the news will be passed on to you one way or another. Goodbye.
You weren't meant to be here.
Did you really expect me not to be?
No, I suppose not. What do you think?
Well, I think he was an arsehole. But if he does his job right, it'll be worth that and a lot more.
He wouldn't tell me anything. I assume you heard that. We didn't even confirm that they are the Calamon things you say they are.
I know what they are. Now he just needs to go and write his very thorough report, and then it will get passed on to all the relevant people, and the garden will be safe again. You'll see.
Well, we'll see. It'll have to be quick. The work's meant to start on Monday, which only leaves a few days for all the paperwork to be filed. Anyway, we have some work to be doing. Come on, I helped you out. You can give me a hand with all this.
Don't I always?
Yeah. We need to give everything a water, but the sun's still out, so probably do that later. Until then, what else?
Ooh, get you knowing how to garden. Well, we've not got much more time today, so we could just take some cuttings of the bigger shrubs and call it a day.
Right, you are then, lass. Hey Les, how you doing?
Hey. I've been better.
Yeah, I imagine so.
I guess it's for the best.
That doesn't make it any easier though, does it?
No. Oh, I have something for you. I wrote out everything we've covered this year about looking after the plants. Can't have you going and planting things at the wrong time or deadheading a flower in its prime. Wherever you end up.
I think I've learned at least a bit. But I appreciate it. Thanks. Come on, lass. We need to go. It's for the best.
I know. It's just gonna be weird. Not coming here anymore.
But at least it's safe. All access forbidden. That's what we wanted, isn't it?
Yeah. I just didn't think about that including us. This radio play was facilitated by Freshblood New Writing Society and produced by Travis O'Connor with sound design from Vincci Chung. Special thanks to our marketing manager, Phoebe Just.